Hi. Well, I was sent here from downstairs. After talking to the police officer, I was told I could get some sort of better interpretation of a statute to get possibly a sanction and kind of a approval that I know I'm not going to get in trouble. It's over a particular ordinance that I'm located somewhere kind of questionable. Basically, I'm with the church, and we're going to be setting up on, if we get approval with the private property owner, it's going to be kind of near a intersection. And so while we're on private property, I was reading the statute, 773, and it doesn't say specifically anything that we would be in violation of. What I want to know is if we're on a private median. If that's not a median, that's kind of the biggest question. But if it's not a median, if it's just private property, as long as I'm not entering onto the roadway or
so just like
things like that.
Or something?
Yeah, just for the next couple of weeks, just for donations.
Like standing out on private property asking for donations?
Yeah, with permission of the owner. So that's not the issue there. It's
Right.
just, I know it's a statute. I don't know if cars entering onto the roadway can be covered. But like I said, it comes down to this median that I'm thinking is private property. Well, so you want to see real quick here. Really easy.
This map might be easier.
I'm working with Northland Shopping Center. That's Marketplace Road. As far as I can tell, that's not a road. Just 104th Avenue. We would be about 20 feet in on the median in the private property. We would never actually go out into the street. It would be purely left or right on the private
In the
property.
parking lot.
Yeah, so it's it's kind of like now you have to ask the question is it safer for me to be farther in the median or farther out? Is there actual statute violations if I'm closest to the business to the street? And so far I can't find anything in the statutes. So every time I ask, well, I only got a chance to ask the officer last night. He said statutory looks okay, but talk to the account to see if we can get it kind of. I never knew about the word sanction, and so I would like an official approval, kind of straight from the horse's mouth kind of thing.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything that city council would even take action on.
Or just letting me know. The toughest thing that I've been able to, the only thing really left is I can't determine if this is a public road and if that's what's considered a median by the definition of that law.
That would be a good place to start.
I would love if I could, it's not something we're picking up stuff on the trees. And, I don't know, it's just,
right?
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean. I'm just.
Travis can see, you can tell us that part right off the bat.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to not do it backwards where I get ticketed or something.
So should I fill out the application that I lost my form and then reapply for it? And bring it here? Are you gonna apply like soon? Yes. If you're going to apply, I would just send the last name statement and you get Do you have a previous past exercise that one? No. Do you have your birth certificate? Yeah. Okay. So. So here's the last restore on.
I'm gonna go track down a staff member, so I'll be
Sure,
right back.
sure. Thank you very much, guys. I didn't really know where to go. So.
It was 2007. It was issued. Okay. Right. Okay. All right, cool. I can expedite, right? Because we're leaving March 1st. Don't expedite? No. Okay. 4 to 6 weeks usually. January 20th is the 6th day. Oh, good. Okay. Okay. So one class, which is the one. Okay. All right. So probably has to be, the one who has to be checked is
anything like your new library? Or
Is what?
is this like a new library you guys have, or?
We
'Cause I've
don't
never
have a
seen it
library
before.
anymore in North Glen.
Oh. Kind of new to the area. So that's
Yeah,
sad.
but there used to be one on Huron, like close to 104th. But they got rid of it.
Yeah, everything's going digital. It's
There is
cheaper
a
than-
really big one on 120th and Holly though.
Well, it's these days. I mean, you can pretty much learn everything online.
Yeah. I'm
Classes,
old
school.
Though. I like to read.
It's true.
I like to read like a book.
An actual book, not
Yeah.
get sick looking at the screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they say those screens flicker at resolution or time frequencies that cause problems with like epilepsy. And I learned you definitely don't want kids to watch TV, especially the flat tube ones, but even the regular ones, the flat screen ones. Because the screen flashes at 60 times a second, their eyes start to develop the ability to only see at the frame rate that's being played to them. And two-dimensional. They can't get 3D development there. So put your kids in front of TV. So.
Does it ruin them?
It yeah,
eyes.
it stunts their development. Yeah, they
Oh,
see
man.
they don't develop 3D, and the picture flickers at 60 frames a second, and their eyes can only see in the 60 frames a second world. It grows on them, and they have to get used to it.
Huh.
So it's generally speaking, I found that out really bad. So
So how do you reverse that?
Right?
higher frame
Yes.
rate TV, put them in front of. No, I don't know.
Right? Like
Let-
those crap SpongeBob
Let them
SquarePants.
play out of the park. There you go.
Right. Adapt.
The real world. Anyway, so
So went and talked to planning and development, and so where the I don't want to call it a roadway, although it
yeah,
kind
it's
of-
marketplace.
Yeah, so I sort of explained what the deal would be, and they said this roadway going into the marketplace is not a public roadway. It
Okay.
is private property.
All the way. Yeah, I asked them. They said it was all the way to the curb minus the sidewalks.
Yeah. So if you were, back in there, the thing with private property though is you would have to have permission of the property
Like I said,
owner.
I already talked to the security. They're getting me hooked up.
Yeah.
With management and whatnot. This is like half contingency. They said if I can work with you guys, then they might consider it kind of
Yeah.
for safety.
I mean, the
issues and
only,
stuff.
I don't know, hopefully our police department would be aware of that as well. I think the only thing would be just maybe our police department seeing it and thinking it would be a safety hazard.
Yeah.
But,
Otherwise, from a statutory standpoint, that they wouldn't be able to write a ticket for the safety, if or at least under that statute.
right, yeah,
Because-
as long as you had the permission of the property
Yeah.
owner, yeah.
Because I read the statute. It's like no entering onto the travel portion of the roadways. So I figured it's not a travel portion since it's a marketplace. As long as I don't enter out into the, like if I go to 104th Street, if I see some car there,
Yeah.
I won't do that.
Yeah.
Or train my guys. And then the other was no medians, and so it sounds like that it is not a median since it's all private property.
Right, yeah.
And then, well, I mean, I kind of know the risks. I'm trying to figure out a better place, but it seems like this is a good place. And I figured it sounds like if there are car accidents or something, I've kind of identified that it's almost impossible for them to happen on public property because we're so far back from private.
Right.
I imagine it would be just some sort of other violation if I actually did cause something. As in, the police most likely would write something, obstruction, something like that. Understandable, but it wouldn't be the panhandling violation or whatever that is. That's what I worried about.
Yeah, and I haven't looked at that statute lately, but when you looked at it, does the panhandling just apply to public roadways?
It never said public, but it
Okay.
said travel portion of the street or highway, and so I figured the definition of street is the public
Right.
street.
I would assume
So-
that as well.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm asking you. That's the question.
I would
So.
think the police department would know that straight away. And
Yeah, she said, well, it's weird, I always get the two answers,
I know, and I hate giving people the runaround because
Yeah.
we've literally sent people, upstairs, downstairs,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh my gosh, let's not do that.
I guess you could say I'm trying to see if I can avoid A, paying a lawyer to tell me I might be able to fight it, and then B, having
Right.
you take me and then having to go to court.
Yeah.
The whole, like, when I heard the word sanction, I was like, that's perfect. Yeah, just let me know, but
Yeah.
if it's over the safety issue, which I saw in the purpose section, but it's not actually in the violation section, then you can't actually write it after the fact for a violation of
Okay.
safety. It seems like, because it's, from what I can gather, it's, you only wrote it so far. Maybe you can improve it, to say that if I'm causing cars on private property to have accidents on public property, it could be an issue. But for most part, it seems like it's just, if I'm not on a public meeting, I'm not entering on the public roadway, and if I'm not exiting cars on the public roadway.
Let me look in one of them.
But thank you very much. You can kind of see the safety of that.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a really, really good location. Exposure, just trying to get some. Yeah.
I have to check and make sure.
Yeah. Well, plus I talked to the security guard there, and they were very amiable with the idea of the church.
Yeah.
I don't like that word anyway. I mean, am I a panhandler for asking for contributions from my church?
No. I don't think,
Yeah.
I mean,
Statutorily, I'm getting confused with all the statutes.
oh, I know,
I
it's,
saw like Greenpeace got part of the class action lawsuit for Collins over the panhandling. They were stopped. Greenpeace was stopped. It's like, come on, guys.
yeah, it's,
But anyways, the politics.
I know.
Well, I don't need any passport help. Birth certificate. Oh, you guys have like a city map. It's kind of new to town. Just like a general city map.
Next door and see if
Thank you.
This one's a little old. I was trying to find you one that had like all the parks and trails and stuff, because that's the one
Yeah.
we used to have.
Oh, that's good, something.
But I don't see. Your junk on the phone.
You guys only have elementary schools?
No, there's a high school.
Oh, okay.
There's actually a couple of high schools.
And we have an elementary.
Oh, I was thinking
Do
of
you
lots of.
only have elementary?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
That's cute though. You're like.
We have middles too, right?
So this is 104, and then here
Are you looking for a marijuana business?
Oh.
No. Oh, okay. Because we have another map for that, and we have a lot of inquiries, so that's why I asked.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Seems like everyone's moving to Colorado. For that.
Yes.
Which could be a good thing. Taxes. Could be a bad thing.
Could be that
Fine.
thing. Infrastructure.
Yeah, that's true. But but just so far, just looking at the numbers, it looks like there's a lot of tax revenue coming in for it, and it doesn't look like our crime is going up, skyrocketing.
No.
Maybe more peaceful. I don't know.
Hopefully.
But no, I'm just with the church.
Oh, okay. I was just asking because we have a different map that shows schools and things for.
This one will show you like trails and
Oh, nice.
stuff. Unfortunately, the street names aren't on here, but everything
I
else
got
is.
this.
Do you want this one too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Take a little pocket one.
I just we're from Fort Collins, so
Oh,
we're just trying to expand, see what else is out there in this world.
Nice.
Born and raised there, I need to get out.
Yeah.
So,
Did the police department already give you a copy of this section about the solicitation?
I kind of found that
Earlier?
exact same thing online.
Okay.
Um,
I think that's really the only thing that's that the city
Yeah.
could enforce.
good, based on just this current section.
Yeah.
So there's room, like, if you guys were to have another reading, with this info, you would find ways to, I imagine. Because, like, basically, I don't want to say I'm just going to test out that corner, but it seems like,
Right.
I'm just trying to make sure it's statutorily okay. And as far as I can tell, they showed me 773, and so I would definitely be not caused to enter under the travel portion of the street or highway. And so, like I said, we'll have to look at the street or highway.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's not a median, it's private property.
Yeah.
So-
Planning said it's private, so.
And then, of course, the whole legally parking area, I always thought that was pretty interesting. I actually read online that the ACLU says that as long as there's like a parking lot nearby or something, they can actually legally park, and so that's the point.
Right.
Versus like clearly I'm not going to be on the corner street of a highway.
Yes.
Which is
For
down
your
there.
safety.
I said there, yeah. From the occupant of any vehicle on any highway included in the interstate system. So that's really interesting because I was talking to a lady downstairs. She said including the interstate highway systems. So the wording was backwards. So that's only the interstate highways. She was telling me 104th was a highway, but I couldn't do it on either. The definition of highway is broad, and it can include streets, things like that. But this said, any occupant of any vehicle on any highway included in the interstate. So I think it's exclusive. I'm just trying,
Yeah, that highway system,
Yeah, but it would be.
we would need to ask.
Yeah, the word included in the interstate highway system kind of seems like it's
so that's
only.
going to be your I-25s and like the
only.
off-ramps and those kinds of things. But
So 104th and I-25, that's what I was thinking would be a case.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Thanks, guys, for trying
Don't
to
be
interpret
sorry.
this.
No, it's.
But otherwise, the big one was that median isn't a median because marketplace is not a street; it's a place.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Yep.
And as far as the safety goes, because it's not like actually written as a ticket, like if you cause an accident, I'm kind of thinking like after the fact kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I've noticed something, throwing this out there with you guys. I'm kind of law, trying to get in law and whatnot. I just see a lot of blanket policies, and it's interesting. It's like you want to prevent the catastrophe from happening proactively, but then how do you do it without infringing on somebody's rights? To say that they should be able to run the risk of running that accident if they're maybe a safe person that won't run that. So. It's tough. So that's what I was so concerned about here is that it seems like it's written for the risk, but the only risk is associated with where you're located is what they can write it down. If you know what I mean? If you're entering on the traffic, and so they can't actually write this later if you get a ticket or if you cause an accident or something. It would have to be the accident ticket or something like that. This is kind of like the preventive maintenance ticket. It seems like because it doesn't say anything about actual what happens if. It's just like prohibited solicitation. And truthfully speaking, we're not even asking people, we're just putting up a sign. So it's almost like freedom of speech. There's even soliciting.
Well, right, and
So-
that's why I'm not even going to touch the other part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And
Because-
private property will,
Yeah, there's been some
Oh.
rulings recently regarding
Yeah.
the constitutional rights. So
Yeah.
that's why I think this is really the only thing that would probably apply.
okay.
And of course, the permission of the property owner.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a private matter.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I said, they said if I can kind of work with you guys, they might be willing to do it, so.
yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah, and
Guess I'm
yeah,
not too worried.
if they have any questions or if you have any more questions, just feel free to pop it back in and we'll figure out who needs to be involved and get more information on it.
Okay. So, I guess, I always sum up the one last question before I go. Do you guys think a cop would stop me?
I don't know.
And
That's
so,
the hard
yeah,
thing is
you're
even-
right. Well, that's what am I asking? That's like the worst question ever.
Yeah.
It's just kind of.
Sometimes we tell people, even though this is what the municipal code says, I would talk to the people who are enforcing it to see,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they would stop
Well, like I said, I
just
talked
to
to
see what
her
you're
for
doing.
the safety
or,
issue.
Yeah.
But they couldn't tell me that it was part of the statute, the safety issue. So I was like, I understand your concerns, but it's like,
Right.
I'm not actually in violation. I would really appreciate being on private property and stuff, and not be haggled and So that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
So.
as far as knowing exactly, what they would do if they see you out there, I'm not quite sure.
Okay, so the easiest ones are, it's a marketplace, so it's not a street or highway. So statutorily, definitionally speaking, okay. And I won't enter out onto the travel portion, and it's not a median, and I'm not on the highways that are included in it. And the people can always move the people parking. Well, fingers crossed. I'll probably keep trying to ask government officers.
Yeah.
But so ultimately there's no actual protections. There's no way you guys could send out a memo. I'm just imagining letting the cops know that that's not okay to take it. As in there's no protections in place. You guys have to
They
sort of.
should know that.
But I mean, the kind of risk is what I'm talking about. Is that despite everything we've talked about here, there's still the risk that some cop might stop me anyways. I might try and explain this, but then he might say, "Well, it doesn't matter. We're going to test this out in court with a statute violation and stuff." So that's just what I'm worried about. And so, yeah.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I don't know if that would be helpful though, only because an officer is going to reserve the right to make contact with a person for whatever reason.
Yeah. It's almost like what happens if they write it and it's not? Is it I've never seen that before. Is that is it false imprisonment or something?
Well, I think if they do stop,
if there's no probable
to
cause,
ask,
I think is what it's called.
what you're doing, I think what they're going to want to know for sure is that you have the permission of the property owner.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Okay.
that I would, if you've already talked
Put
to
a
the
sign
property
up.
owner.
I have permission to do this.
Yeah, I don't know if they could provide you something in writing, something that you could show
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm
police
gonna
officer.
work on, absolutely.
Because I bet that's going to be one of the first
Yeah.
things they ask about.
But even then, it's still with permission. If I'm still in violation of the safety, that's what I'm worried about. But if it's not a median, then they can't really invoke the safety issue. It's just kind of like this humbug
That's
worry that is unaddressed, I guess, that we have to. And believe me, I've thought about it. I've looked at all the other spots and places and whatnot, and this is just good exposure. I can't help it,
right.
Well, I guess that's the best I can.
I know. I wish we could give you some guarantees, but
Yeah,
I just.
well, I was speaking with the sanction, but it sounds to me like
Yeah, the
city council would be.
They don't really.
They don't really talk to people. Oh, your cop all get me all worked up on that.
I know, darn it. That was some
I've always
fault over there.
heard I was all exemption, and she's like, no one's actually exempt from the law, but we can get you official approval with sanction.
Yikes! Yeah.
She actually went like this. She didn't mean to say the word sanction, so it was like, that's a secret word.
Yeah, our city council doesn't really consider items like that at all.
They just kind of leave it up to the discretion of the cops.
Yeah.
That's what a paper trail always has.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no like special waiver or anything like that I've ever even seen them consider.
Oh, okay.
So
But at
yeah.
least did you talk to someone that actually confirmed the definition of a street or something like that? Interpretation.
The person I spoke with was the director of planning,
Okay.
and he confirmed that the roadway entering the marketplace is not a public roadway.
Okay.
And that it's private.
Okay,
property.
that actually makes me feel a lot better that was at least some sort of confirmation from the city that we know what's a street and what's not.
Yeah.
Okay, because I can work with that. I can argue that. I might even be able to, if it comes down to, if there's no car accidents, why are you ticketing me kind of thing,
Yeah.
I want to. I don't know. I've just been. Let's put it this way. I've been ticketed by police before, and won because it was, it was illegitimate. So
Yeah.
I don't want to have to waste more time.
No, we don't want that either, for sure.
But anyways, that's why I tried. You guys gave me at least some hope, some inspired power. I've decided to do two tickets. So, sorry for the trouble. We'll see. I'll just keep talking to council more. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, guys.